is beautiful and clean. What's amazing about Disneyland is the amount of effort they put in to make it magical. They don't have to make everything lovely. They could just leave it looking like rusting metal, but they bother making it look like wood, like it was carved out of a real tree, unlike ugly, dirty Six Flags. Even the trash cans are pretty and polite. As soon as you see someone walk by and drop a few kernels of popcorn, another person comes and sweeps it up. I like to get the 2-day park hopper ticket, which is like $116, which seems like a lot, but you can go to Disneyland and California Adventure for 2 days. Disneyland hours are approximately 8 a.m. to 12 a.m., and California Adventure's hours are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., I think. But it's nice because it's much less busy than Disneyland. Now, I will start by telling you about the rides at California Adventure. There's a Roaring Rapids type ride. It is much wetter than most raft rides I've been on, but it's fun anyway. Just be prepared for soakingness. There's an absolutely terrifying Ferris wheel that's not all that scary if you go in a normal car thing, but we accidentally got in a swinging gondola, which was sickening and very, very scary. Near this Ferris wheel, there are a couple of rides I've never been on. The Maliboomer is one of them, but that is simply because it has a bit of a long line, and isn't worth it to me because they have the same ride at Knott's Berry Farm, only it's called Supreme Scream. It's very fun, but it's not a Disneyland ride, so to speak. If you never go to many theme parks at all, it could be good to go on. The other one I haven't ridden is this giant orange with these swings in it, like they have at the fair. I've always wanted to go on it, but usually the people I go with are too weak-stomached for rides that spin so much. Nearby, there is this jellyfish ride. It's sort of a smaller version of the Maliboomer thing, but it's really lame. I was excited to go on it, but I would not suggest wasting your time in that line. Then there's this Zephyr ride, which is a nice, relaxing, calming ride to get the wind in your hair, and there's rarely any line at all. Everywhere in California Adventure, they are always playing upbeat California music. Boy, will you get sick of those cheery tunes. Mulholland Madness is one of the funnest rides at California Adventure, in my opinion. The line's usually not that long, and I really like that one. It's very wee! California Adventure has a lot of cool scenery and nice little stores, like the Sunglasses Dinosaur thing. Disneyland in general has pretty cool stores and shops everywhere. It's a shame about tax. Then there's one of the best rides ever. Soarin' over California, which is amazing and refreshing. I love that ride. I could go on it over and over, but get a pass. It has a really bad line. Then there's the Hollywood section, which is really neat looking, and they have this cool Muppet 3D show, which is just good for a rest and a fun thing. Yay! There used to be this wonderful limo ride that's really fun and bizarre, but it got dismantled a few years ago, which is majorly sad, because it was awesome. When we went backstage to perform with the choir last year, we saw the little limos all covered up with plastic, and I started crying. And everyone was all mean, like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, instead of that ride, they have recently replaced it with a new Monsters, Inc. ride, which I'm very excited to go on, because I always thought there should be one. It is very child-friendly. Then, there's one of my personal favorites, the Tower of Terror, which is very, very cool. The line can be long, but they give you really interesting things to look at while you wait. It's really awesome. There's also this Bugs Land, which isn't that cool, but it's good for babies. And there's a few kind of neat things to look at. There's bumper cars. Yeah, mostly kind of lame. Then we have pretty much the only other good ride at California Adventure. California Screamin', which is a really neat roller coaster that used to be even more awesome, but it's still good. It used to have this eerie music playing all the time. Oh, in Hollywoodland, they have really nice Cruella de Vil bathrooms, too. Chapter 2. Disneyland Main Street and Characters. When you arrive at Disneyland, it's obvious that it's incredibly beautiful. But there are so many choices. What to do first? Well, I can't help you make that decision. Some people badmouth Disney and its land, but they are just stupid and don't know what they're talking about. They say such idiotic things as, when I went to Disneyland, I was getting the Queen from Snow White's autograph, and she was really rude to me. Well, duh. That's a good thing. It means she's in character. Now, a few things about characters. Some are obviously really easy to find. People like Snow White, Cinderella, Belle, they're all just always sitting around in the very front with little girls crowded around them. But some are real quick, so you gotta run if you're after them. Peter Pan and Wendy can often be found skipping through the lands, with Captain Hook hot on their tails, and a crowd of tourists huffing and puffing to keep up with them. There's, at the end of Main Street, a big, beautiful Sleeping Beauty's castle, which is the entrance to Fantasyland. But there's a bridge, and a well, and a pond, and in front there's these little waterfalls and statues of Snow White characters and things. There are some pretty swans bobbing around under the bridge, which are nice to admire. Somewhere in the middle of the central area, there's a statue of Walt Disney holding Mickey Mouse's hand. I have, on occasion, seen Jasmine lurking about there, but been unable to catch her. There are also little trolleys that go by, and fire trucks with bands playing on them, so be sure you're careful when walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. There's a cool glass figurine shop on this street, and a good ice cream place, too. Keep that in mind. Also, this is where the churros are, somewhere around here. Oh, and there's a really sweet magic shop down at the very end. It's beautiful, too, because it's Main Street, and it's Disneyland, so everything is really spiffy. Chapter 3. Once. The long chapter. Where to begin? How about with Frontierland? Now, it is probably one of the less interesting lands, but even it is good. Big Thunder Mountain, the train roller coaster, is placed happily there. A very, very fun ride. On the other side of Frontierland is Adventureland, which, although small in comparison to Fantasyland or something, holds many wonders. For instance, there's the wild Indiana Jones. That is a sweet ride, my friend. Definitely get a fast pass. Although it has a history of technical difficulties, they just make it more exciting. Right next to this is the Jungle Cruise, a classic. This ride provides fun for all ages. Only on this ride will you find piranhas and puns worthy of V in the same place. Also in Adventureland, there's the memorable Tiki Room, which is a must-see for all first-time Disneyland goers. Oh, haha, the fun! There's also a neat little store with a genie lamp. Golly, it talks! If you then wander around in Tarzan's treehouse, it will dump you out in New Orleans Square, which is full of good times. Pirates of the Caribbean. It is so believably nice that I can't believe it. Boy, howdy. When I was little, them pirates scared me out my wits. I hid on the bottom of the boat and Mom scolded me 'cause it was all wet. So be wary if ye be taking smarlins with ya. Arr, matey. There's a big lake with lots of boats that you will notice. 4 of them. Number 1. Big shiny white fair called the Mark Twain. Number 2, the Columbia, which is a great big ship. The 3rd is some canoes that you will have to row by yourself. And 4thly, you have the Tom Sawyer raft thing. Takes you to Tom Sawyer's Island. While waiting for your raft to take you to Tom Sawyer's Island, please watch for smokers, because this is where Disneyland puts them, to keep the rest of the park clean for you. Board the raft, and it'll motor you over, so you can spend as much time as you like exploring the tunnels and stuff. Now, back to Disneyland. Aha! The Haunted Mansion. Now that is a Disneyland ride. Can you say awesome? I know I can. Okay. If you'll continue up the hill, you come to Critter Country, where there is another of Disneyland's fabulous mountain rides. Splash Mountain! Yay, fast passes! After exiting this everything but spirit dampening ride, you'll see the Winnie the Pooh ride, which pretty much always has a wait of 5 minutes, but it's usually less than that. It's way cooler than you'd think. Maybe, if you're over there, you'll even meet Winnie himself, because that's where he hangs out. So, Fantasyland is the Disneyland dream. There's the carousel with the sword and stone in front of it, which is nice. To the right, there's the Peter Pan ride. This ride has an hour wait, no fast pass, and it's only 30 seconds long. What the heck? To the left, there's Pinocchio and Snow White, which are some car track movie-based kiddie rides. Entertaining and nice. The witch always looks out of her window. Back on the right, there's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Won't you be surprised? Continuing along that path, you will find a hat shop, where you can buy groovy hats. It is the Mad Hatter's because it is adjacent to the teacups. It's a small world after all. Nearby, there's Storybook Land with the whale boats and Casey Jr. They're separate and cute. Over on the left, there's the well-loved Dumbo. Huzzah! Back to the teacups. They're quite close to the Alice in Wonderland ride, which is quite amusing, and in a big castle. The line is long, so be prepared. If you venture forth up a hill way back, you will find the magnificent Small World. It is very enjoyable. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. Now over yonder there is Toontown, which closes earlier than the rest of the park, so make sure you get to it before that. It's mostly for looking and admiring, but the Mickey people are there a lot. And the Roger Rabbit ride, which you could get Fast Pass for, is really fun. There is also a go-coaster ride, which I have never been on, but I always thought it looked interesting. It seems to be broken down quite often. Now on the other side of Alice in Wonderland's castle is a large and luxurious mountain called the Matterhorn. This spectacular bobsled coaster has 2 different tracks. I'm pretty sure that the left one is the good one. Over that way, past the huge Matterhorn, is the Spacey Land of Tomorrow. In the front, we have the Astro-Orbiters, better known as the Rockets. They're like the grown-up, futuristic version of Dumbo. Then, on the right, is Star Tours, which is a neat Star Wars ride. Across from it is the Buzz Lightyear Z-Shooting Thing ride. It looks lame, but is just fun, man. Then there is Autopia, which you cannot not get a fast pass for, or you'll die of heat stroke. It's cool, because you can drive your own car, and you get a fake little license. Next to it is a little store where you can buy sour, goofy gummies. Over in this general area, the Finding Nemo submarine ride is under construction. That's exciting, because a long time ago, there was a submarine ride, but it wasn't futuristic enough, so they haven't had one in several years. The final ride in Tomorrowland is the awesomely awesome, recently remodeled Space Mountain, another must-fast pass attraction. It's very cool. You'll find in Tomorrowland a large view-blocking circular building called something or other. It is full of gizmos and gadgets that are fun to play with. Chapter 4. Transportation, food, and fast passes. Disneyland makes everything a ride. Even traveling from one land to the next can be exciting and fun. The most convenient thing ever is the train! It has 4 stations, all in the most wonderful places, right where you need them. The first one is at the very front of the park. The second is in New Orleans Square. The third station is very near Toontown and Small World. And the fourth and final stop is in Tomorrowland. Although no stop is final, because it constantly just goes around and around the park, neatly dropping you off where you want to be, providing all the time educational tour-like tidbits of information. What a long sentence. The monorail, unfortunately, is not that swell form of transportation, because it only has 2 stops. One is in Tomorrowland, and the other is at the Disneyland Hotel or something. Ah! It may be wise to bring a lot of your own food, but it'll be annoying to deal with a lot of food. Yeah, so you should eat at some Disneyland restaurants too. Keep in mind that all venues will be pricey. There are food places everywhere, but some only sell generic things, such as hot dogs, sandwiches, and pizza. Those are available in basically every land. Now, if you're looking for something really fancy and expensive, there's the Pirates of the Caribbean restaurant, but our recommendations would be for elsewhere. There are two places we like to frequent where you can get a delicious meal for under $10 probably. The first of these is located in New Orleans Square. It has chicken strips and mozzarella strips and fries, etc. They will be so filling and tasty that you and your companions will have to carry around smelly but appetizing leftovers all day, unless you share, which would be wise. The latter of the two is the Hungry Bear restaurant in Critter Country. It's got really good burgers and chicken sandwiches. Lots of things, really. You can sit on the deck and throw french fries at the ducks. It has a nice view and delicious food, and is lovely. Also, sometime while at Disneyland, be sure to get a frozen lemonade from a stand. They are so good and nice on a hot day. How to use the free fast pass system. Don't be one of those people. And get them as soon as you can. However, obsessing over priority and arguing within your party about which fast pass is more urgent wastes all that precious time you would have saved and ruins everyone's mood. Just have fun! To use a fast pass, go to a ride with a machine in front. Insert your Disneyland ticket. Receive a fast pass ticket. It will tell you when you can go on the ride. Come back during that window of time and stand in the Fast Pass line. Have your Fast Pass ready to show the attendant person and enjoy the jealous glares of the regular people. You cannot get another Fast Pass until your first window has started. You cannot have two Fast Passes at one time, so choose wisely. The rides which you will not want to stand in the regular line for are California Screamin', Soarin' Over California, a very, very long line, Indiana Jones, Splash Mountain, Autopia, and Space Mountain, and possible others. Do not lose them or throw them on the ground. Littering is frowned upon, especially at Disneyland. Chapter 5. When to go on things and spectacles. If you get there when Disneyland opens, go on Peter Pan immediately, or you won't have another chance. If you get there late, it could happen. Start off with something light, like Star Tours, Thunder Mountain, or Pirates of the Caribbean. In the middle of the day, avoid Toontown, 'cause it'll be crowded and hot and you'll cry with babies. Also avoid outdoor rides as much as possible, because you'll want to save them for dark. Rides glorious at night include Big Thunder Mountain, The Rockets, Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, of course, no way to dry after, Tower of Terror, and maybe Winnie the Pooh. When to go to California Adventure? 10 a.m. That's when it opens, and it will be oh so empty. Run to the crowded rides. Return in the evening to enjoy Soarin' Over California, if possible. If you've never been to Disneyland, the first time you go, you might want to see the parade. Do not stake out a place at 4 or something and waste hours. When it goes by, just happen to be somewhere where you can see it. If you're not seeing the parade, stay out of the way and take advantage of usually crowded rides. One night, you will probably want to see Disneyland's awesome water/lights/etc. show, which is very enjoyable. But you may want to stake out spots by the lake. If you choose not to see Fantasmic, go on Splash Mountain or something. Under no circumstances should you stand there and watch the fireworks display right before the park closes. That is stupid. You can see them from basically anywhere. They're in the sky. You should go on rides like Big Thunder Mountain. That's a sweet experience. Other 2 outdoor mountains also could be cool. During the spectacular time, avoid the frightening masses of crowds. They will be moving little or not at all. And if you have your heart set on something in Tomorrowland, you should have been there already. We recommend staying in Adventureland, Critter Country, and Frontierland during this time. Be careful, too, of certain areas being closed off. Limit movement in general. Chapter 6, Final Reminders. Bring sunscreen. Don't wear a lot of denim, or any. Bring a bag with water, candy, and other lined treats. Sunglasses and hats might be smart. Comfortable shoes are a must. Bring enough money for 2-ish meals and fun souvenirs. Maybe like $50 extra or betterly more. Don't forget the candy store. Get to Disneyland as early as possible. Stay as late as possible. Don't rush to Main Street till Disneyland closes, because it stays open an hour later. Love and respect Disneyland and its staff. Take lots of pictures. Don't lose things. Don't forget that once you leave, your trip is over and it's real life again. Enjoy it with all of your love. I love Disneyland. I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go right now. Can we go right now, Angelica? Can we go to Disneyland? Can we? Is it time? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. No. What? You promised. No. But I love Disneyland. Can we go in a minute? Can we go soon? No. Can we go in like 2 weeks? What? What do you mean no?